Hello everybody, Apotheosis here again. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make a video of breaking Trent 10 once again using 2 elunes to down the boss. All we're going to use here is resetting tolerance stacks. This time there's no implementation of any legendary elune, so give me a thumbs up for that. This is an excellent opportunity, I think, to recap what I talked about in my last video, so if you didn't see that, go check it out. I introduced and explained some strategies on how to reset tolerance stacks. I think this is going to be an excellent opportunity to recap and demonstrate that to you guys with some clever use of game mechanics, which I'm going to explain in detail so that maybe you can try this out at home. Just don't try it out on burning mode. So let's begin with a review and clarification of the original formula that I provided to you in the last video. Your CC duration greater than your tolerance duration should be a goal at all times. However, the actual formula is technically CC duration equal to tolerance duration will lead to a reset of your tolerance stacks. It is a very good goal to have a duration longer than your tolerance because when that target loses his stacks, he's still CC'd. Whereas if it's equal, he wakes up not CC'd and you only have one turn. So you have less wiggle room. Some bosses might wake up immune to your efforts to crowd control, like Proto in his last phase. Okay, on Trent 10, this stuff doesn't apply. We can come in with a CC duration that is as long as our tolerance duration, and we will achieve a successful reset. As a further piece of clarification, I did tell you that it's beneficial to bring 2 schools of crowd control. I did tell you why that works. I didn't tell you guys that it's actually not mandatory, and you'll see that today when we 2-man using only physical effects, and we will actually achieve physical tolerance resets on our way to killing that boss. It's a specific interaction in Riskit and his synergy with Chloe's CC, her paralyze. So let's take a look at that. Using the updated formula, let's take a look. We know tolerance duration is 5 turns. We need a crowd control that is 5 turns long to guarantee reset within 1 school of crowd control. Riskit has this available to him. His S3, Lavarna's Dignity. It will inflict a target with a physical effect that causes stun for 3 turns. This is when it's maxed, so I do suggest you max this out if you want to attempt this at home. And then he can turn this 3-turn stun into a 5-turn stun. So we want to start off first with what's guaranteed because of Lavarna's Resonance, his passive. When half of status effect attacks land as crits, this skill's status effect duration increases by 1 turn. We are guaranteed to crit when we target Chloe Van's Paralyze, so you want to make sure that Paralyze is on the target. Then you land Lavarna's Dignity. That turns that 3-turn stun into a 4-turn stun. Now you have a couple options to go through from here. So the first option available to us is playing with RNG a little bit, but the reward is there. And depending on your soul availability or your turn swap availability, this might be the option you want to go with anyways. If your target is paralyzed and they are bleeding, the paralyze guarantees the crit, turning that 3-turn to a 4-turn stun. Then the bleed is turning that 4-turn stun into a 5-turn stun 50% of the time. And this is in the activation phase. So this is where RNG comes in a little bit. You have a 50% chance to activate the 5-turn stun. You still can get resisted, but if it does land as a 5-turn stun, you're actually done. You've effectively reset your stacks. All you need to do is stop using your physical effects and let the boss take those turns, do damage where you can, and those tolerance stacks are going to drop and you can repeat this process all over again. Option number 2 and your most reliable way of resetting your stacks is going to be to use your shield throw, S2, your target that was stunned with Lavarna's Dignity. Make sure they're paralyzed as well. That way you activate the passive, you crit, and you increase the duration of your stun by 1 turn. This is naturally going to reset your stacks. So when you crit and increase the duration on your stun, you're technically not applying a skill effect. All you're doing is interacting with an existing skill effect and increasing the duration. So when you do this, it does not apply a new stack of tolerance and it doesn't refresh the duration on tolerance. So a very interesting thing, like I said, will happen naturally because you will get resisted. The bleed will get resisted because he has so many physical tolerance stacks, but you're still critting, so you will be getting the best of both worlds when this happens because you're increasing CC duration without refreshing your tolerance duration. That's exactly what we wanted from the start. It was just impossible to do without 2 schools, and I just explained to you the exception, and we're going to take full advantage of that to down Trent 10 with these 2 elunes. And that's really all there is to it. It is a rinse and repeat cycle. You apply your crowd control and you allow those tolerant stacks to fall off, and you keep doing that until the boss dies. He's not taking turns, so auto attacks alone are going to kill him eventually. You don't need the damage stats. I do have a couple recommendations if you do want to try this out as to how to increase your success rate. Max out Chloe's S2, turning that duration into a 3-turn duration. Same thing with Kunhar's S3 like we mentioned. Turn that to a 3-turn duration. Gear, bring full moon 3-set on both of them. 25% debuff success rate. They actually updated that tooltip, so you can see that is indeed what it does. Very important for the strategy. I bring corrupted because I have trouble generating souls in the beginning turns. You might see that if you try it out. I don't know if it's mandatory. I can't tell you yes or no, but definitely bring the full moon set. I also put a tree set on him just for this 3-set that he gets. Increased attack speed because he is often critting because he's attacking a paralyzed target. So why not? But the full moon set, again, that's the mandatory piece. There's one final piece of min-maxing that I did. I went with iron wall formation, just put someone on the back line so I benefit from this 59% chance to obtain 1 soul when attacking. I wasn't benefiting from charge because I don't have 4 people in the back line. I don't need healing received up. Attack up might help by putting both of them in the back line, but that's, like we already mentioned, you don't need damage here. I really struggled with soul generation in the early phases of attempting this because you only have 2 people cycling through the turn ticker that generates your souls, so you feel a little bit starved in the beginning when you're looking for those abilities that you want to use but you can't because you don't have the souls. Finally, time to risk it for the biscuit. I have full confidence that Chloe and Kunhar will keep our boss CC'd, and we will have no difficulty resetting stacks. This initial reset will be the hardest, so bear with me through that. But after we get some soul generation going, we should be okay. So let's see how it goes. You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. Wow. That is Burning Trent 10, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I was able to reinforce all the things that I was trying to explain to you guys. I hope this demonstrated that you don't need legendary elunes, you don't need damage, you barely need gear, a couple of skill ups. You really just need strategy. If you incorporate these strategies and you think about your team comp, if you're careful about your applications of tolerance, you're going to down bosses, okay? Hopefully you found something that you can incorporate into your deck. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you already know what I was talking about, I hope you at least enjoy the content. Maybe enjoyed seeing me break Trent 10. I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown me so far. I really am enjoying myself. And again, I just thank you guys for your time and for your attention. Take care.